What's going on, YouTube? My name is ginj-tcg, or Chris, and today I'm back with, a deck that I made. And I don't know if I'm proud of this one, but my god, is it a combo. It is Ends Charizard. Not totally a Zoroark deck, not totally a Charizard deck. I was just kind of thinking, playing on the ladder. I saw a Ends deck that was a bit out of the norm, and I was thinking, like, man, Charizard is, like, really bad right now, and Ends deck, like, you know, with Ends Zoroark and the Darmanitan that's got flame body cannons to snipe the bench, and even Reshiram, like, I'm like, you know, it's a little lackluster. I feel like in the end game, Ends Zoroark usually seems to fall off, and that's usually, like, where I tend to make my comebacks when I play against it, so I'm like, okay, how do we make Ends deck a bit better as we go on more in the game? Well, I'm like, hey, just pair in, you know, the original beefy stage 2 that one-shots everything when your opponent has one prize left. Boom, Charizard EX, and I'm like, hey, pair Charizard EX with a phenomenal early game attacker that could snipe the benched Dreepies, Draclokes, you know, Curlias, Raltses, whatever you're up against before they could evolve, and all of a sudden, boom. That's the deck. So anyways, to get more into it, if you're unfamiliar with the Ends box deck, you got the trade ability where you discard a card from your hand and then you draw 2 cards. The reason I love this ability so much is because you can pair it with things like Ciphermaniac, Codebreaking, where you can search your deck for 2 cards and then put them on top. So we don't play Pidgeot or really any search engine Pokemon-wise in this deck. We just have Fezandipiti for draw and Zoroark with trade for draw. So I figured, you know, with Arvens, Ionos, and then the one Ciphermaniac's Codebreaking, just to get you the setup you need, you're chilling. Like, that's really all you need, and then boom, you're good to go. You'll draw into whatever play you're going for. If you need Darmanitan, you take out the Darmanitan or maybe an Ultra Ball. If you need Reshiram, you know, you get Reshiram. If you got a Zoroark that's damage. If you need a Rare Candy Charizard, boom, that's Rare Candy Charizard. And then from playing Charizard, we get some heavy fire acceleration, which is really nice on Charizard EX because we can attach 1 energy to Charizard, you know, get us that Burning Darkness, swinging for 180 base, 30 more for each prize card taken. But more importantly, we could set up Ends Darmanitan with Charizard, which is just, like, I don't know, it seemed like a super fun combo. I wanted to give a go. If you're worried about Cornerstone and Ogerpon in this deck, well, you should be. A lot of this deck has abilities, but depending on the time you have to deal with it, I mean, we play a lot of Gust, so hopefully you can work your way around it and 2-4-6 your opponent, you know, with your 2 Bosses Orders and 1 Counter Catcher. But if you can't, you can use Backdraft and try to one-shot Ogerpon that way. And if you're worried, like, ah, man, but they're going to one-shot me in return, like, how am I going to pull off that play? Well, that's why I'm playing Hero's Cape, and that's that inspiration I took from that wacky Ends Zoroark deck that I saw earlier. I thought Hero's Cape is such a cool A-spec in this deck, because now you've got Zoroark, which can get up to 380 HP, which means your opponent is most likely not one-shotting it, which means that you could get maybe 1 or hopefully 2 powerful Rage one-shot KOs with 1 Ends Zoroark. And not only that, you can smack it on Darmanitan, so now your opponent's Cornerstone Ogerpon is 2-shotting Darmanitan, whereas hopefully you can win that 2-shot race if you're not just one-shotting it already. On Charizard EX, I mean, Hero's Cape 430 HP, dude, Dragapult EX has to 3-shot that before they put the damage counter. Like, you know, if they could gust it onto the bench, put some damage counters on it, and then bring it back to the active to then finish the KO, okay, I guess that's fine, but that's still 3 turns worth of attacking. Your opponent still has to deal with 1 Charizard. So I'm like, you know what? Honestly, Hero's Cape in a deck like this, I think, is a ton of fun. We're playing 4 Arven, and between the 4 Arven, 1 Ciphermaniac, and trade plus flip the script, I feel like we could pull off that combo rather nicely. Now, to get into the rest of the deck, we are playing 4 Arven, 3 Iono, and 1 Ciphermaniac for our consistency supporters. We're playing 2 copies of Boss's Orders, as well as 1 Counter Catcher for our Gust, and 1 copy of Jacq, which could get us any combination of Charmeleon, Zoroark EX, Charizard. It doesn't really matter. I mean, when we're playing TM Evo, which is one of our tools in the deck as well, it shouldn't be too hard to just evolve and kind of get the Zoroarks going a little bit early, and then save maybe a Charmeleon and a manual evolution on Charizard EX in the late game. Now, for the items, we've got a lot of Pokemon Search. We got 4 Buddy-Buddy Poffins, 4 Ultra Balls, and I'm opting to play only 2 Nest Balls because you really don't need many Nest Balls. I mean, again, between Jacq, Ciphermaniac, and TM Evolution, you should hopefully get your evolution Pokemon into play rather nicely. So I decided to, I originally played 3 Nest Ball, but then I'm like, you know what, I could cut 1 out because I kind of wanted to make space for Night Stretcher, and using 4 Ultra Balls is kind of what I was drawing into, and searching out Reshirams or Fezandipitis when I needed it anyways, so I didn't think it was the end of the world. Now, because we're playing Charizard, we are only playing 3 copies of Ends PP up and not 4. And although this is a phenomenal energy card which allows us to recycle our dark energy, we're taking a lot of the pressure off Ends Zoroark. We hopefully don't need as many Zoroarks as attackers since we have a 2-1-2 Charizard line to give us some good backup. Now, we are only playing one candy because, again, I just said we got a 2-1-2 Charizard line. Hopefully, we're getting Charmeleon down, and we really don't need more than one Rare Candy. If Rare Candy and Charmeleon are prized, well, it looks like it's just an Zoroark deck until you figure it out, take your prizes, and hopefully get them out. We're playing one copy of Earthen Vessel, really just to get Dark Energy out. Again, when you evolve into Charizard, you could get 3 out of your 4 Fire Energy in play, and then you can always Rod them back or Night Stretcher them back if absolutely needed, which we're both playing one ofs. I'm playing 2 copies of End Castle as well as 1 copy of Rescue Board. I think those are the last 2 cards I haven't mentioned. End Castle just allows us to get a pivot with different Zoroarks, Darmanitans, Reshirams. You know, I don't have to waste energy, and I can save that Rescue Board onto something like Fezandipiti, since that's the only Pokemon that we can't either use the attack of or directly attack with. So I think Rescue Board is really just there for Fez, or I guess maybe like, you know, a Charmander in the first turn if you're trying to go back into Zoroark and you kind of just, that's just how the cards go. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the list. I don't know. I think this is a super fun way to play it, and something about saying I'm playing End's Charizard, I hate that that just rolls off the tongue so nice. So I'm super excited to bring this epic dark combo to you guys, and I can't wait to see how well this deck could do. But before we hop into today's 3 matches, just want to remind everyone that we got the Battle VIPs podcast on Spotify. A lot of you guys asked if I could throw it on Spotify, said it would be a little bit easier to pull up, so I would say, hey, yo, go check it out. Link in the description down below, as well as my link for TCG Player, the website where you can order any singles, decks, or deck accessories for any card game, doesn't matter what, on TCG Player. My link for that is in the description below. Just clicking on the link and then ordering anything within 48 hours supports the channel in such a massive way, and I cannot thank you guys enough for everyone who's been doing that. Now, with all that being said, let's hop into today's match and see how well End's Charizard can do. Welcome to match number 1. I took a mulligan and showed I'm playing End Zoroark, I believe, but I'll double check, and I'm up against some sort of ancient box. It looks like Roaring Moon if I had to take a guess, which I played in my last video and I wasn't too happy about because I was definitely not ready for that type of match, but it's fine. And yeah, I revealed just the End Zoroark. I need to check if there's a Fire Energy, and they got Secret Box out of, yeah, I'm going to go with this is Roaring Moon with the Poison Package. A deck I definitely think we could take, and I did reveal the Fire Energy. It's a little problematic. Not the end of the world. Maybe they just think I got an alternate line for like End's Darmanitan or something going. I'm hoping they don't read into the Charizard EX. But this is a match I honestly think I'm looking forward to. I mean, we are luckily going second, so I don't have to worry about the Donk KO on Fezandipiti immediately. However, my hand isn't necessarily perfect, and they Ultra Ball away 2 Boss's Orders. Now that's big, and they take a Squawk, so maybe they're trying to get some good poison damage down. Honestly, though, as far as I'm concerned, this hand really isn't that bad. Like, I can't get too mad at it. I can go Buddy-Buddy Poffin. I think my play is to take 2 of End's Zoruas immediately, then attach the Dark Energy to the benched one after I retreat into the other one, just to see if my opponent has the KO. I kind of have to sack something here, kind of give him a single prizer, which is a shame, but it's not the end of the world. I am pretty confident that I can bait out a Frenzied Gouging at some point, hopefully follow up with some sort of big Darmanitan 3-prize KO, and then my cape should be good to just stay in play for the rest of the game and cause some huge problems for my opponent's Pokemon, because again, they're going to have to Frenzied Gouging something, realistically. I don't know if they could get to 280 super cleanly, especially 330. If that's the case, then, you know, I should have a better time using my Ace Spec, just tanking a couple shots. And yeah, here we're going to see the Perilous Jungle play. They are going to get some good poison damage down. They're going to use the Petron EX to switch into their single prize Petron and get some huge poison damage done on my Fezandipiti. But, like, you know what? Honestly, any damage on this Fezandipiti is fine because it's not on anything else. And honestly, that's good enough. It is going to be passed on over to my turn, and I do get Boss's Orders, which I don't know if that changes anything. I think even though they only have 3 cards in hand, I do kind of want to just Iono, get myself a new hand. We got 1 Zorua, we got 3 Zoroarks, which is good. We got a 1/1 Darmanitan line in the deck. We do have 1 prize, and then we have our Charmeleon Charizard, and I'm just gonna check for Rare Candy. Rare Candy's prized. Okay. That causes a little bit of problems. Not the end of the world, though. We can manually evolve a Charizard on the bench, no problem. Oh, no. It's in my hand. Alright, that's good to know. Let's get the Rescue Board down on Fez. I'm going to attach the Dark Energy to a Zorua here, and then I'm just going to rip the Iono. Even though I'm giving my opponent a new hand, I'm hopefully able to set up my bench a little bit better. I would love if I could get another Zorua, maybe a Charmander down this turn. This isn't perfect. Okay. I think I might just hold this hand here, in all honesty. We're going to use our free retreat. I'm going to go in with End's Zorua with no energy, because I mean a scratch for 20 is really not going to change much. And then I'll pass for turn here. So now we can see what my opponent's got in store for us. Oh, maybe I should have Ultra Balled. That might have been a small misplay on my end. I probably should have got Ultra Ball for Darumaka there. But I think I'm just going to Arven next turn anyways and go Buddy-Buddy Poffin or Nest Ball. And why am I having like anxiety that Darumaka is 80 HP and I totally overlooked it? I don't think it does. I literally played a couple warm-up games, but for some reason this is what's bothering me right now. I mean, this is what I get. I literally was... I like had this concept in my mind and I was trying to figure out how to build the list, and then it's super tight. Like, I feel like there's a lot of things I want in the deck. There's a lot bigger lines I wish I could have, but I can't because there's just two big bulky box style decks, like both the Charizard line but then also the Ends line that's needed to be successful, which kind of worried me a little bit. And then I was doing homework and it hit me, like I kind of came up with a way to do it, so I just stopped recording, and now I totally forgot to process like all of the Ends Pokemon HP and everything, so I'm kind of just winging a lot of this right now, but that's okay. I mean, I feel like this deck can kind of carry itself. The way I tried to build it was to give, instead of Charizard more of a draw engine, or more of a search engine, more of a draw engine, which I don't think we've really seen in Charizard in a long time, except for when it played B-Barrel, and even then it also had the Pidgeot line. My opponent's actually just going to pass there, making us take 6 damage counters worth of poison, which we can live. And you know what? I probably could have taken a massive KO there with Darmanitan, but you know, that also would discard all my energy, so maybe it might not have been worth it. So I think what I want to do here is Ultra Ball away Iono and the Dark Energy. I'm gonna take out a Zoroark EX, right? Because then I also have Ends PP up with the Arven, and yeah, that feels pretty good. Okay. Hold up, what am I doing here? Ends PP up, but I also need a Pokemon on the bench that I could copy the attack of. Ideally, that would be Reshiram, but I don't have a great way to draw into it. Ah, man. Okay. So maybe, do I go Ends PP up, or do I just hope to take a little bit more poison damage, hope they have a bit more of a dead hand, and I go Buddy-Buddy Poffin and just take, or even Nest Ball, and just take Reshiram. Yeah, Ends Darumaka has 80 HP. Oh my god, I totally overlooked that. Okay, that's fine. I might, when this video comes out, switch to 3 Buddy-Buddy Poffins, 2 Nest Balls because of that. For now, we are just going to ball. I'm going to go with the Nest Ball here and just hope I could get Ends PP up off the trade. We're going to evolve into Zoroark with our active because they do have a bit of a dead hand. I think I could tank a good shot here, even if they poison me a little bit more. I'm going to use Ends, or Nest Ball for Ends Reshiram, just kind of beef up my bench a little bit. And then I'm going to use trade. And I'm almost tempted to get rid of Darmanitan right now. I could always rot it back. But then I could keep TM Evolution, and I could evolve into another Zoroark, which is kind of nice. Draw me a bigger hand the following turn. And then I also... I don't know. Let's do that. Again, it's more of a full send. That's fine. We'll figure it out. And I get Ultra Ball Fire Energy. Not going to help me too much. I think I do kind of just like the TM Evo play. As much as I do wish, you know... No, I can't go Ends Darumaka because I prized a Darmanitan. That's unfortunate. Total misplay on my end with the list. Gonna have to switch that to 3 Buddy-Buddy Poffins, 3 Nest Balls maybe, because I did forget that I had to Ultra Ball for a Darumaka in my warm-up match. While I was just trying to get my life together, and we're just gonna go TM Evo, whatever. Let's get something down. I'm taking too long thinking, I'm worrying too much, and, well, when you start thinking in Pokemon, at least for me, that's when all my misplays start, because Lord knows I rarely have a good idea of what's going on. Now, though, we got 2 trades, and this is a situation I like better. I can easily Ultra Ball or trade a Fire Energy away. I don't mind that too much. I mean, we can rod back Darmanitan, 1 Fire Energy, and maybe another Pokemon if absolutely needed. I don't think I mind taking another turn to set up because my opponent doesn't have a draw engine established. They don't have a Sada that I've seen get energy onto Roaring Moon. If all we're doing is taking poison damage, that's just going to beef up my powerful Rage attack. And, well, that's something I'm very fine doing. I mean, they don't have access to Fez until I take a KO, and I really don't know if I want to take a KO right now. So we'll see what they got. And, yeah, they're just going to Adrenaline Brain some damage. Honestly, I'd probably onto Fez, right? You just keep loading damage onto Fez. At this point, hope you could take a sneaky 2 prize KO that way, would be my guess. But I guess it doesn't matter if it's on Zoroark either, because I eventually do need to deal with it. I want to keep this a secret until I see that first Frenchie gouging. which will probably be on the second Pokemon I throw at them. And there's that first manual attachment onto Roaring Moon. They are going to start getting that ready to rumble the following turn, because they probably have some sort of Nest Ball, Ultra Ball combo in hand to get them Fezandipiti drawn to a bigger hand when I inevitably take the KO. So we're just going to take a little bit of poison damage there. Again, not the end of the world. Would I love a boss Dark Energy right now? Yes, I... Whoa, my gosh. Well, yo, 1 Dark Energy, and we are good to go. So let's trade away our Fire Energy here. That's always something we can recycle, and I'll get Earthen Vessel Ultra Ball. Yeah, nah, good night. Actually, you know what? Nah, let me Vessel away an Ultra Ball. Take 2 Dark Energy. Actually, I don't really want 2 Fire Energy right now. I'm going to leave those in the deck for a Charizard EX at some point. I am, however, going to regret trading away an Ultra Ball. I know I need this to set up my Pokemon. I need a bigger hand to just get things in play, and I'll get a Buddy-Buddy Poffin Charizard. Stop it. Oh my gosh. All right, you know, we're doing all this with Ends Reshiram. I don't need Darmanitan in this match. This is it. We're going to smack the energy down on Zoroark. I am then going to boss up Roaring Moon, significantly drop the poison damage that I'm taking, and go Night Joker to copy Ends Reshiram. And we will use Powerful Rage, swing for 280, take the first 2 prize KO on Roaring Moon, and tell my opponent to figure it out. So we'll take 2 prize cards here. Honestly, a Darmanitan? What was I looking for? Darumaka is kind of tough. I was kind of hoping for a Darmanitan since that guy's in the discard pile, and I could always Nest Ball out a Darumaka. But it's not the end of the world because I also got Arven. So now I can Arven for Rare Candy, and I don't have another tool. Honestly, that's fine. I could just go Rare Candy, get Charizard EX in play, especially if my opponent does take a KO. And actually, I just realized, is the stadium not working for my opponent? Oh, no, it's... Not that it's not working. I have a dark Pokemon in play, so I don't take the extra Perilous Jungle damage. Okay, I was like, wait, no, shouldn't that be 8? I'm really not used to playing dark decks, apparently. I forgot Perilous Jungle is, it works in favor of the dark decks. And yeah, there's the Nest Ball in hand that I kind of figured they had for Fezandipiti. They could draw 3 cards. It's like, what am I scared of, though? You know, if they only keep Petron in the active, I'm not dying. Like, I'll be okay. And I could hopefully maybe try to draw into a Ends Castle, give myself a little free retreat. You know, go in with this Zoroark. Since I do have a Dark Energy in hand, I could just keep copying Virtuous Flame, which is a great 170 damage attack to do in, like, the early game in a mid-game setup. When you're up against a decent single-prize Pokemon, you know, it's just an easy KO without having any damage taken. And they are going to... move the Dark Energy to Petron, do the extra 10 damage, but then more importantly, stop me from retreating. And there is the Carmine to give them a new hand, hopefully help them find a couple more playable cards. And, I mean, is that something I'm super worried about, though? I don't think so. I guess if they get another Dark Energy onto Monkey Dory, that might be cause for a little bit of problems, because then they could Adrena Brain onto my active, take the 2 prize KO. But if that's the case, I could, I mean, it wouldn't be too hard for me to just go in with End Zoroark again. Or even just lead Fez, you know, for the free retreat pivot. I don't know if it's a Charizard line. If I get another supporter, I might want to try to... Actually, you know, I don't know. I was going to say look for Boss, maybe take a KO, but I don't know what to... Oh, you know what? No, I could go Boss on Squawk and then Virtuous Flame it, because we're swinging 170. That, I think, would be the best case scenario. But I have played 1 boss, so now all that's left is 1 boss's orders and 1 counter catcher in terms of Gust, and I'm really hoping I don't have to rely on the counter catcher. I could kind of just dodge a single prize KO on Petron and tell my opponent to figure it out any other way. And yeah, there's the energy on Monkey Dory. They could Adrena Brain the damage off Petron onto my active, swing with Poison Chain, take the KO. Now we're tied 2-2, and that is exactly what they're gonna do. Well played for my opponent. Solid line. Way to dig deep. They are a bunch of cards down, though. There's only 10 cards left in their deck. They're 1 Sada down. How have they only found 1 Sada at this point? What did they take off that secret box? Had to be, yeah, Sada, Ancient Booster Energy Capsule, Dark Energy, and Perilous Jungle, excuse me, and an Earthen Vessel. I'm going to lead Fez, and now we get access to flip the script, too. You know, we actually have huge draw at this point, which is really nice. And Jacq. You know, I honestly kind of like the Jacq here. I really don't mind it. I don't know what I want to do. I think I want to flip the script first. Why can I not? Oh my god, because we died by poison, which technically wasn't on our turn. Okay, well, that's annoying. I am going to trade away Arven and see if I get boss's orders to go for the boss KO on Squawk. I like the Jacq because it gives me Charmeleon and Zoroark. Again, I don't think I need Arven at this point. And I'm going to get Charizard EX and a Fire Energy. That's okay. So, you know what? We'll take the Jacq here. I'm going to take Charmeleon and Zoroark. I could trade away one Charizard. I really don't need one in my hand at the moment. I know they have Sada in hand. That is not Fezandipiti. Or excuse me, not Fezandipiti. It's not... what was I even trying to say? Iono. How did Fez come out there? What? Good job, Chris. You're talking very well today. So we're going to trade that away. Draw 2 cards. I do get the Ends Castle, which I could use as a retreat, as well as Hero's Cape. More importantly, I get Ciphermaniac's Codebreaking, which is going to be huge for a Rod play next turn, just in case. I think all I want to do, though, is attach this energy to Zoroark. We're going to go for our free retreat. I could bump their stadium, but honestly, I don't really think it matters if I do. So I am just going to use Night Choker and swing for 170, copying Reshiram's attack. It's actually, I've got some options here. It's kind of wild. But no, we'll swing 170, get this guy rolling, take our 1 prize card, and I still need 2 KOs to close out the game. However, now it doesn't matter if it's on a single prize and a 2 prize Pokemon, I still need 2. My opponent also needs 2, but it's on their turn right now. So if they do successfully set up something like a Roaring Moon, and then, oh, they give me Squawk. Why? Oh, because they have Petron. Okay, I was going to say, if they give me like a Roaring Moon EX, set it up, you know, pull off the Frenzied Gouging to take the KO instantly, since 220 does not cut it. That could be something to worry about. This is why I think I like Mochi in Roaring Moon, because if they poisoned my active, they would do what? 260 and then 10 damage from poison. You know what? They actually still would be just short. Now that I think about it, because I am a dark deck. Actually, this is insane how much this actually might work out in our favor, not taking the Perilous Jungle damage. Why does that fix so much math for literally 0 reason? What did they just do? Did they just Nest Ball and fail it? Do they not have any Roaring Moons left? There's 2 in the discard pile. Honestly, they might not. And they're down 1 Night Stretcher. They probably have 1 more, maybe a Rod if I had to take a guess. And they're going to Pal Pad back Boss and just Boss. Not 2 of them. Not Boss and Asada. Oh, maybe there only was 1 Boss's orders, or did it just show me 1? No, they shuffled 2. I just saw 1 on the screen. Okay, never mind. I feel like I'm going insane this match. I'm forgetting Darumaka's HP. I forgot that, you know, Nest Ball might be a little more important than I realized, but honestly, after playing this game, I really don't think I need another Nest Ball. I might just rock with the 4-2-2. The 4-2 Buddy-Buddy Poffin to Nest Ball ratio, and if y'all want to switch it to 3-3, I guess I get it. Like, it makes sense, but I've had no problem. I haven't needed it. Ends Reshiram has been enough. And my opponent is now going to... Wait, what did they just do? They played Night Stretcher for single prize Roaring Moon. What? Okay, I mean, how many ancient cards do you have in the discard pile? Is it enough to take a KO? I didn't think so. You got 5 cards left in your deck. I mean, there's what? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They'll probably get rid of a couple here. 7. It's definitely not enough for a KO unless I'm heavily over missing something. I mean, I know there's maybe a couple Pokemon. Your bench is full. That Petron's not a worry. It has 2 Roaring Moons. I'm surprised they didn't take those out. Interesting. I guess they're trying to force us to go for another boss play, which I could also say for Maniac now that I think about it. Like, that's totally fine. And sadly, I do have 2 energy in the discard pile. Maybe I take a Rod this turn. Say for Maniac for Rod. And then I could go... What? Rod for Darmanitan, Dark Energy, Fire Energy. I can manual attach 1 Fire Energy to Charizard. And then evolve into Charizard. There should be 1 energy left in the deck after the Rod that could just give me that energy acceleration I need to give me a solid backup attacker. And then I can just hold on to Cape. Because if they boss up Charizard, Frenzy Gouging that's fine. I put Cape on Zoroark. If they KO Zoroark with Frenzy Gouging, I put Cape on Charizard. Tell them to figure it out. They're going to just give me Brute Bonnet, which is going to be the sack of the century if I cannot draw into boss's orders here. However, I do have 2 trade abilities. So I am drawing minimum 5 cards off of top deck, and then trade up to 3, trade up to 5. So we'll see what we got in store. Right now, we are going to draw into Rare Candy. That is a perfect card to just trade away. And you know what? This Brood Bonnet actually has just enough HP to live a Virtuous Flame. This is not the end of the world, and I get a Rod now. That's pretty huge, actually. That is actually insane. I think I might play that. Right? Or what would I even trade away? You know, I could trade away Ends Castle. I don't necessarily need to draw into Darmanitan or any of the energy yet. Actually, I'd rather not draw into any of the energy I'm going to put back. So I'm just going to get rid of Ends Castle, since this stadium really doesn't do anything. We get the last Fire Energy out of our deck, so that's awesome. It's just Super Rod back. What, Darmanitan? And then Dark Energy, Fire Energy, because I need one in the deck right now. And then we'll call it solid here. I can put one energy down on Charmeleon. I could also go Ends PP up and throw one energy down on this Zoroark here. And then let's just evolve into Charizard. Get out that last energy, that last fire energy I put in the deck. I've got a bunch of fire energy in hand, which is kind of nice too. I would love to use Infernal Rain. And as much as I would love to get energy down on Darumaka, it's really not going to do anything here. I guess I could have traded this guy away too. But it's cool. We got Ciphermaniac. I'm going to put Boss on top of the deck. And what's another good card to put on top of the deck? Honestly, it might even be just Darmanitan. We'll just draw into Boss, trade into Darmanitan. And then we should be good from there to take a boss KO on really whoever we need. So I think we just swing Night Joker, just do 100. Actually, is it even worth doing 170? Because then they could Monkey Dory damage. You know what? That actually might not be worth it. Because I'm not taking the KO. You know what? We're going to Powerful Rage for 0. I don't want to. I was going to say, oh, let me swing for 170, but I'm like, you know what? That's, I guess, I did have a Darmanitan play where I could take a KO here, but I don't want to risk getting KO'd from Monkey Dory with some sort of Calamity Storm play, because those 3 damage counters with a Binding Mochi could legitimately fix the math, and I don't want to deal with that. And they're going to Ultra Ball away 2 Paralyzed Jungle. That's huge for us. So now if I get the other Ents Castle out from the deck, I should not have to worry too hard about that thing being discarded. I don't know if they play more than 3 Paralyzed Jungle. I would be shocked if they did in this, you know, Dark Box, this Roaring Moon deck. But we'll see. But this actually turned out to be a very, very good game. I don't know what my opponent does, though. I didn't take a KO. They can't flip the script. They've got no draw. They've really just got whatever they got, whatever is chilling in hand, and they don't have a way to retreat Brute Bonnet. I think they're just waiting for me to take the KO. Oh, no, I lied. They got Petron EX. They could still retreat the Brute Bonnet. They just go for their switch play. Smack this guy up in the active spot. And give us a line for an interesting play when they swing into me with the KO, and I can copy Powerful Rage with a big old boss's orders on their Fezandipiti, leaving them with 1 prize left and a whole lot to figure out. We'll see what else they have. Again, there's 3 cards in their deck. It's not like they could even flip the script at this point. They need to take a couple 2-prize KOs. Ooh, and they go boss. Probably take my own Fez. Yeah, that might work out better for us, because now there's only tankier Pokemon in play, and they cannot win with a straight boss's orders. I don't even think I need Fezandipiti at this point. Like, I think my deck has functioned well enough. You know, honestly, like, no, we keep Fez in the deck. I was gonna say, do I cut Fez? No, that's now we're getting crazy. Now we're doing too much. Let me just rock with the list I got. Honestly, I think I was overthinking this whole Nest Ball thing. I think I'm fine, because we're just going to trade away Darumaka and just draw into Darmanitan and whatever card is next. Ends PP up. That actually, if there was a better second card to draw into, I think it was that. Like, that's actually nuts. We're going to smack that energy down here. I'm going to evolve into Ends Darmanitan. And then I'm going to trade away a Fire Energy, because that really doesn't do much at this point. And I have a Night Stretcher that I could just use to get something back for Backdraft if I need. And I think here, again, what do I want to do? I dodged, actually, you know, I didn't take any damage. That is a little annoying. So I might have to go Boss KO on Squawk. Take 2 prize cards here. Just kind of take that worry out. They did not swing into my Zoroark, so I didn't take any damage done. And I think I'd much prefer to take 2 prize cards here. You know what we could do too? We could Cape and then Iono. But then they would have access to Fez. Yeah, nah. I think we just go Boss. I could have retreated into Charizard and Boss KO'd Fez. Maybe that's a good line. Is that a better line? I don't know. I'm gonna leave Zoroark on the active at 380. I know I wanted to save a Frenzied Gouging. If you have enough resources to go Frenzied Gouging here, take the KO on Zoroark, like, honestly, respect. Not much I can do about that. I'm just gonna take my 2 prize cards, move on. I probably, and we got Ents Castle. Okay, that's I don't know why I thought I remembered that was prize. I don't think I just said it. I mean, if they have that many resources left, I'd be shocked. They need a... Actually, you know what? They probably do. No, they go Sada now. Never mind. Now they don't. I was going to say they need a Night Stretcher for, what do you call it? Roaring Moon. Then they need to SOTA to it, manual attach, and E-switch. It honestly wasn't the worst shout. And no, they're just going to energy switch onto Petron. They're not swinging for enough, though. I have one prize card remaining, but they're only doing 360 HP. They've also used Boss's Order. So unless I see a counter catcher out of these 5 cards, they're swinging 360. And then I'm going to Powerful Rage for 720 damage without ever even needing to touch Charizard EX. They do have Toxic Powder. We should still live with 10 HP, which means we're now swinging for 740, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know how they get out of this without Counter Catcher. Counter Catcher would be a huge problem. And Adrenabrain. Oh my god, wait, no, that would do it, wouldn't it? I think now, actually, they do swing 380. No way I lost on that big a misplay. No way. Actually, would Charizard? Nah, Cape Charizard would have lived. I should have retreated into Charizard. Should have retreated into Charizard. That is a shame, right? Because they're swinging, what, 360? We take 10 from the poison damage. That's 370. And, yeah, that's KO. They got it. Oh, my lord. All right, that was the biggest misplay. That is a shame. I'm going to give my opponent the thumbs up there. I mean, they totally deserve that. I mean, there's not much I can do there. Oh, wait. What math did I do wrong? What? Oh, 6 times 6 is 360. The only misplay I made was my math skills. We are going to Night Joker. Copy Powerful Rage. Oh my god. Oh boy, this is turning out to be one of the videos ever. I don't think I have nothing. My brain is totally empty right now. Clearly. I don't think I've been talking right this entire video. And my math up until the end was all types of incorrect. By the skin of our teeth, we are up 1-0. And I am scared for what these next two games give us if I'm going this insane. I'll see you on match number 2. Welcome to match number 2. And we open up in what seems to be a mirror match, question mark. And I'd also like to start with an apology for just how the match number 1 meant I was all over the place. I was not thinking literally at all, which I guess is typical ginj-tcg behavior, but that was like exceptionally bad. So I'm sorry. I hope that, I mean, if you made it this far, clearly you don't mind that much. You're bearing with me, but yeah, no, I'm gonna throw out my excuse of the day and chalk it up to me waking up way too early to work on all of my final papers for school right now. And for anyone in college, in school, you know, or just with work and a ton, I hope y'all get everything you need done today. I definitely now have a newfound understanding on how all of that stuff piles up now that I'm working full-time and in school full-time. So, I feel for all y'all. I know this gets to be a very busy time of year, regardless if you just have work or if you are in school or some combination of the both. I hope y'all are getting through okay. My opponent is going to Ultra Ball away a Fire Energy and a Knocked Owl, telling me that they're not playing the end list that I am. They're playing a more what you'd expect build of Charizard with, you know, Knocked Owls and Hoots and stuff, you know, since it is a good Terra Pokemon. They're going to Rod back the Knocked Owl and the Energy, and they got 2 cards left in their hand. So they might be in a bit more of a rough state than we are. And if I could have went second in this match, Arven for Nest Ball take out Darumaka, TM Evo, boom, evolving the trade Zoroark, evolve into Darumaka, and then we got Zoroark to follow up and a Rare Candy Charizard in hand. I mean, this might have been the most perfect start I literally ever could have asked for if I went second. Sadly, I'm going to be taking an extra turn to pull off that play. Which is fine, and yeah, they're just gonna draw into Knocked Owl next turn. I'm curious to see if the other 2 cards are Rare Candy Charizard. That would be nuts. And I do get Fezandipiti, which is honestly kind of nice to draw into. You know what I could do? Actually, though, this might be a better line since we went first. I go Nest Ball for Reshiram. And then I prized Hero's Cape. Of course I did. And Rescue Board. Do we have Reshiram? We do have Reshiram in the deck. Okay, and I do have Darmanitan too. I don't know. I don't think I really need TM Evo at this point. I think it's just going to be trade fodder. Just because I'm going to go for a bit of a different line since I went first. I think our hand is still perfect, regardless of going first or second at this point, since I'm able to pull off such a perfect KO. I'll evolve into Zoroark, and honestly, I'll go Rare Candy Charizard right now. Why not? Let's have some fun. Let's get 3 energy down. Or 2. I guess I really don't need the full 3. I'll use Infernal Rain. I'll take 2 of the energy. I'll leave a 3rd one in the deck just in case I gotta start manual attaching to a Pokemon I might not expect at some point, and then I'll go trade here. And I don't know if I actually could have had a better start at all. I get Iono Ultra Ball. Yeah, good night. That actually was the best start I ever could have had. We are going to Virtuous Flame for 170 damage, copying Reshiram's early game attack. Take our prize card against my opponent's only Charmander in place. Now, if they have Rare Candy Charizard in hand, well, it doesn't matter. They've got Knocked Owl, 3 other cards, and a Fan Rotom in the active. They're not going to be using that Knocked Owl this turn since they cannot get a Terra Pokemon down unless they bench something like Terrapagos, in which case that could be pretty interesting and honestly not a bad card in something like Charizard. And they're going to get rid of... Yo, they actually had it. Oh my god, they actually had Rare Candy Charizard Knocked Owl in hand, and they top decked Ultra Ball. I am and there's the Terrapagos that I also mentioned. I cannot believe that my opponent not only had the nuts, but had it that perfectly. Oh my gosh. That is terrifying. They're going to go for an Iono play themselves, as well as another Nest Ball, probably to get down a Charmander. I'm surprised they didn't take a Buddy-Buddy Poffin and go for 2 Charmanders. No, because they're going to take Fezandipiti and hopefully draw into a Charmander or Buddy-Buddy Poffin off the Iono plus the flip the script. That makes sense. I mean, they are drawing 9 cards minimum between Iono and the ability there, and this deck is too good. What? How do you deal with this? I'm going to get Darumaka down. I've got Zoroark in hand, and I have Ciphermaniac's Codebreaking to give me any 2 cards I need. I'm not even joking. This deck is way too powerful for 0 reason. And I haven't even needed to totally go into the Charizard line. All match number 1 I did was just play Zoroark, which maybe I was sleeping on a little bit more than I should. And they go for Sparkling Crystal and Area 0 Under Depths. Okay, I guess that makes sense, actually, because then they can get more Charmanders down, and when I get rid of the stadium, they can get rid of their Knocked Owls at no real cost to them. This is a smart play, and honestly, playing Sparkling Crystal in a deck like this is really, really cool. And Duskull. Okay, that's something I actually do have to worry about a little bit. Just because they could use Duskull to fix some good math onto Zoroark. I still think we wait to try to cape Charizard for the endgame. Unless they somehow take a KO here, and I can't take a KO on Terrapagos, but I think if they swing into us, we should live the attack. No, they just pass. Okay. Boss is something I need to draw into. Ultra Ball is a card I love to get down here. I'm not... Do I play down another Charizard? I'm definitely going to play down N's Darumaka. Man, you know what? Nah, I think we hold the Charmander... Okay, hold on. I'm doing too many things. Doing too many things in my head. I need to stop. I don't know if we need more Pokemon than this down. I think we're okay. I could take another N's Darumaka down. I don't know if I want to use Ciphermaniac's Codebreaking. I think I want to see if I could draw into a boss and take out Duskull or even Charmander. I don't even mind taking out a Charmander here. I don't know. Let's trade away Buddy-Buddy Poffin. It's just not a card I need. We've got all the Pokemon I really could ask for at this point. I get N's Castle. That's pretty sweet. That is actually pretty nuts. I don't want to Ultra Ball that away. Maybe I just go for Ciphermaniac here. And I take, what, Darmanitan up top. As well as we do have Iono. I could Ultra Ball for Fez after I draw into these 2 off trade. I could go for Vessel and just try to get some more energy in play. I don't hate that, in all honesty. Countercatcher's not really going to do me many favors. I want to take a card I could play down. Call me crazy. Even Buddy-Buddy Poffin just to get out Zorua. And I could bench the Charmander, but what would I get rid of? I kind of want to trade away Charmander. Give me Vessel. Give me Vessel. Alright, we'll do this. I'll put these 2 up top. I'm going to trade away Charmander. If I draw into another Zorua and I can play that at some point, that'd be pretty cool. Not something I'm going to worry about too much right now. I think I'm just going to Vessel away Ultra Ball since, well, I got the Darmanitan in a bit of a different way. And I'm going to take my 2 Dark Energy out of the deck. I can attach one 2 Zoroark here, and then I think we just go Night Joker and swing for KO on Fan Rotom, put us back on that even prize card. So now if they use Duskull, they're gonna put themselves on an put us on an odd prize, which means I won't have to worry too much about Briar, and I think I kind of like this play a little bit more, and I get Darmanitan out of the prize card. So now this feels infinitely more useless, except for the fact that, you know what, honestly I could just trade it away, so like whatever. And what's so nice about this deck too is like my bench isn't huge. I don't think Terapagos can swing for KO. No, because it's only their bench Pokemon. I don't know why. I think it's like a Rondo attack where it's my bench too. Even if they get all of the Pokemon down, I mean, what, they're swinging 270, I believe, right? They'd have 9 Pokemon in play. 8 on the bench, though. It should actually be 240. They would need some sort of damage buff, like a Dusclops. But if they Dusclops Terapagos for the KO, like, would that even be worth it? Because then I just go Boss KO on a 2-prize Pokemon, and then we got 1 prize remaining, and they still have to deal with Charizard at some point. They bench down Lily's Clefairy, which should not affect us too much. Yes, it is weak to Metal. It only has 190 HP, however, so it's not super hard to swing into for the KO. And we're not playing any okay, we're playing Ends Reshiram, but if you want to Boss KO Ends Reshiram, I mean, be my guest. I'm really not going to stop you. You could, by all means, take that 1 prize KO, as long as you don't 2-4-6 us. And right now, we're ahead in the 2-4-6ing. The 2-prize Pokemon race has officially begun. I need 2 more KOs remaining, ideally. Obviously, a Duskull wouldn't change much. I would still need 2 KOs, which is why Dusknoir is just so powerful. Oh my gosh. And yeah, they have a full bench. That's so quick. And they get 2 Duskulls down. There's no way you use both, though, right? I mean, if you use both, you just give me 2 prize cards. Then all I need to do is KO Terapagos, Fez, Clefairy, even a Charizard, and boom, I'm good to go. And as we saw on my huge mismath on the last game, I mean, hey, Cape Zoroark could easily clear 300 damage, since I would have 380 HP, and it's going to be pretty hard to one-shot that unless you use a Duskull or something like that. No, they go Boss's Orders, probably bringing up Reshiram if I had to take a guess, which means, no, they bring up Charizard, get some early damage done. Okay, I mean, I'm not mad at that. That's pretty cool. Not much I could do about it. I could retreat it. It's a little annoying, because then I got to worry about manual attaching energy to it and everything. You know, I can't retreat it perfectly. That is a bit unfortunate. Also might be better for us just to do that. And then I can Night Joker, copy Flame Body Cannon, take out Charmander and Duskull here. Or you know what, even take out Charmander and Hoo might be a better line for us. I don't really want to Iono them. You know what, I think I'm going to do that. I think, let's draw into everything I can. Let's start trading away some cards. Let's get rid of Darmanitan. Ideally, I don't need another one of those. And I'm going to get Night Stretcher Zorua. Oh my god, that's now so much worse. You know what I could do? I could trade away Dark Energy. I do have Ends PP up in hand. Feels kind of good. I want to keep that Ends Castle in case they gust up a Darmanitan or Reshiram. And I don't want to get rid of Zorua just because I don't mind evolving into another Zoroark, but I do really like having the Dark Energy in hand. You know what? I'm going to keep the Dark Energy because I'm going to... Here, I'll explain in a second. Let me get rid of Zorua. I don't think I need 3 Zoroark in this game, and I get Fez Iono. Yeah, good night. Okay, the reason I'm choosing to keep the energy in hand is because I'm going to use Flame Body Cannon, discard all of the energy attached to my active Pokemon, which is 2 energy, and then I can manual attach, Ends PP up, and boom, I can swing again the following turn. So... I don't know, I think this play just feels a little safer for me. We're going to Night Joker, and let's do it. Let's go in. Let's take out the Hoo-Oo, which is their draw engine, and let's take out... oh, no, it's on their active. Duh. I forgot it's not just Radiant Greninja's attack. Alright, well, let's still go down on Hoo-Oo. Let's still take this guy out. Yeah. It's their biggest draw engine. I mean, okay, I guess they could Fez and flip the script, draw 3. But taking out, like, the rest of their search just feels a little better for me. I guess, yeah, I could have taken out Charizard and get Hero's Cape. That's big. Okay. I could have taken out Charizard, but now if they use Dusknoir, Dusclops, really anything to make sure they take the one-shot KO on Zoroark, since they're only swinging 270 damage with Charizard EX, and they probably want to take 2 prize cards here, then we would only need 1 2-prize KO, which is something I could totally manage. I'm also going to need to work on getting some more manual attachments down on this Charizard EX, which I could do. I mean, we've got 2 Fire Energy in the discard pile, but I have a Night Stretcher. So, I don't know. I mean, it's an option. Let's see. I feel like right now, I don't know what to do because there's too many lines I could take. If nothing else, I could go Virtuous Flame and just KO their active, which feels pretty cool too. Unless I get a cool boss play, go boss KO on a Pokemon like Fez. Take out the rest of their draw engine. I mean, that plus Iono might actually be very, very devastating. But I can't boss and Iono, and I no way I can countercatcher when I'm up 3 prize cards. Even if they go Dusknoir and take a KO and take 3 prize cards, then we'd just be tied. So yeah, I think that's probably impossible. So I just need to worry about taking a KO this turn, staying ahead, and then just closing out the game. Okay, and they have a water energy in this deck. Yo, tell me they're playing like the what do you call it? Water Ogre Pond, the water pond with Sob. Go for some bench sniping that way. That's actually nuts. That actually would work super well, except for the fact that they can't snipe Charizard because it is Terra. They could boss it up and snipe something else with that attack, and they are going to Rare Candy evolve into Charizard EX this turn, get a couple Fire Energy down. They could finish setting up Clefairy as well as fully set up Charizard EX. I mean, sure, there's not much I can or will do about that. I mean, if you take the KO, I'll figure it out. I'm just going to cape up my other Zoroark, attach the energy, or no, use End's PP up to get this guy set up, and then Night Stretcher, take a Fire Energy, and get an energy down on Charizard. But no, you just go for the counter catcher KO on Charizard. That is actually way better for us. Okay, that works. Is this another game I don't use Charizard? Possibly. Possibly. I don't know. I have to see. If I could get a Charmander down this turn, I would like to. Both of them are in the discard pile. I might have to Night Stretcher for one back, and then I could save Rod to get back, like, Charizard energy, potentially. And I get Boss. Ooh. Ooh. That's pretty nice. Don't think it's going to change much. I think holding Boss in hand is just better for us at this point. Let's End's PP up. Smack the energy on my active. Oh my god, it's one of my bench Ends Pokemon. Duh, good job, Chris. Now you threw the game. Alright, so be it. That is okay. We're going to get this energy attached here. I still do have End's Castle, which I could play right now. Bump their stadium, give me that retreat, get into my other Zoroark. I like that. We're good. Okay, and then I got access to Fez. I got Night Stretcher for Charmander, and I could Iono them. And then I could use all my trades, try to draw into a bit of a bigger hand after that. I think that feels pretty good. And I could even cape my active at this point. Give me a 380 HP Zoroark in the active spot. Yeah, alright. We got a great play this turn, for sure. They got no sort of draw. They could get rid of... Or they got no sort of search. They do have access to Fezandipiti. I am taking a KO this turn. Terrapagos has 140 HP remaining, and I am going to copy Virtuous Flame for 170. And then I will see what to do from there. This deck is honestly, like, a ton of fun to play, though. I'm not going to lie. I don't know why. I really haven't given Zoroark a go, but just having Charizard is just such a big, like, threat to my opponent that they have to do stuff like Boss KO, which just lets this little guy thrive way too easily, and I kind of love it. Like, this is actually kind of nuts. My opponent is taking their sweet time to get rid of Pokemon. They get rid of Fez! I'm missing something, that's for sure. I'm gonna retreat into this guy, since I did a little bit of a misplay, but it's not the end of the world. I'm going to cape up the active. I'm going to go Night Stretcher. I am going to take a Charmander out of the discard pile. Get this guy on the bench. Just keep this late game threat down. We're going to go Fezandipiti. I'm going to Iono my opponent to 4 cards in hand, since that is one less than they have, and now they don't even have Fez, so they don't have any sort of draw engine. And then I get Ultra Ball. Ooh, that's pretty cool. But we did use our Rare Candy, I believe. Yeah, so I do have to work on manually evolving this Charizard, but we should hopefully have 2 turns left, which is fine. I'm going to trade away Buddy-Buddy Poffin. I'll see what I'll trade from there. If nothing else, I'll just flip the script and then work on a trade. I kind of want to look for boss's orders. I could definitely trade away Darumaka. I don't think I'm going to be needing this guy too much at this point. We'll see. I'm going to get Counter Catcher Ultra Ball. That's fine. We'll just flip the script here. I got 17 cards left in the deck, 14 after flip. Yeah, we're good. We got plenty of space in our deck to keep going. And I get Jacq, Arven. Yeah, we're so live. All right, let's Night Joker. Copy Virtuous Flame. Take our 2-prize KO. And my opponent is going to need something wild if they want to have some sort of late game sweep. They could go in with Charizard EX, I guess, which would be pretty bad. But this is what I mean. It's like we have Cape on the active. They also need Boss or Counter Catcher, and they have no sort of search. Because if they swing into our active, they're doing 330 damage with Charizard, which is a whole lot of damage. However, I have a whole lot more HP because of Cape. So I will just Powerful Rage and swing for 660. So not even Charizard is going to do it. They'll need some sort of Tool Jammer or Boss's Orders to make me super, super worried. And even if that's the case, I think I could still win next turn. Because if they take the KO, right? I need to draw into another Dark Energy or End's PP up. And then I can use Flame Body Cannon and take a KO on a Duskull here. And now they can't use Dusknoir or Duskull because, well, I'll win the game. I have 1 prize card left. So I think literally all of the resources and time and energy they spent just dealing with Charizard, not even me playing it, just having it in play, has made it so Zoroark can just walk through. And this is why I love Cape, is like literally this situation right here. I feel like in a lot of Zoroark lists, I'm seeing like a lot of Prime Catcher, even Secret Box for more consistency, stuff like that. The reason I like Cape is for this. Getting over 300 just period makes it so hard for your opponents to take a one-shot KO, which makes Powerful Rage that much more insane. And if they go Boss KO on Reshiram to take out that play, I just Arven for Rod, Ultra Ball for Reshiram after it's back into the deck, and then boom, smack it down to the same thing again. And my opponent just leads Noctowl. I don't think they have anything here. I think they're just trying to... Actually, no, even this, they might have just tapped out. Because Noctowl was, I believe, the far left, and even this is a Virtuous Flame away from KO. This deck is nuts. This is actually crazy. I feel like I got my flow a little bit more back, too, just as a commentator. I feel like match 1, I was absolutely all over the place. However, match number 2, I have opted to dial in and math out my math to just cook through whatever my opponent's got. And yeah, they were inactive for too long. There's nothing they can do. We are 2-0 with Ends Charizard. Let's see if we could get the perfect record, the 3-0 for the day. See y'all there. Welcome to match number 3. Actually, that top deck is pretty nice, but I most definitely open up with an atrocious hand. There's really not much I'm going to do here. In the following couple of turns, I don't even have a KO on Badoo the following turn. It seems we're up against Gardevoir EX, and they lead Badoo Screamtail, so maybe. Nope, I was going to say maybe we could dodge rolls, but no, they got Buddy-Buddy Poffin. I just... Whoa. Zoroark. Actually, you know what? No, I've seen Zoroark Gardevoir a little bit on a couple Limitless tournaments. Okay, we're going to see which is a better way to play Zoroark right now. Is it with Charizard or Gardevoir? Two heavily loved decks. They are going to Itchy Pollen us and tell us to figure it out the following turn. I get trade Zoroark. That's huge. I will happily trade away this Fire Energy right here. Throw that guy in the discard pile, and I'll take out Ciphermaniac's Codebreaking and TM Evo. 2 cards I love to see right now. I don't want to Ciphermaniac's Codebreaking because I am going to TM Evo into Charmeleon, giving me Charizard the following turn. And that's okay, you know, we'll take our time. It's not the perfect setup, but hey, we're doing what we can. If I could go, you know, if they, I don't know how they take a KO this turn, but if they do, I could go Counter Catcher onto their only Ralts and then deal with that guy immediately. We do have a late game KO on Zoroark, and I think right now our biggest advantage is going to be the Charizard EX swinging for a KO on Gardevoir EX, taking 2 prizes and greatly limiting the amount of times my opponent can spam their Gardevoir's ability. And they're going to Buddy-Buddy Poffin and fail. Do they not have any more Ralts? They Mortys for 1? Okay, so my opponent and I are digging hard for something. And they got, okay, they do have 3 energy in the discard pile. They could swing with Gardevoir, but if they bring Gardevoir in the active, no, they're going to go in with Screamtails, 2, 4, 6. They would be swinging for KO on Charmeleon. Oh my god. This is insane. This is ridiculous. All right, I mean, sure, I get access to Counter Catcher, but at what cost? Actually, no, that could be okay, because they take a, what, Dark Energy and Nest Ball out? Use Nest Ball for Reshiram, and then go Counter Catcher on Gardevoir, take the KO that way. It's actually not a bad route. And then my opponent is kind of stuck. I could Night Stretcher too, bring back Charmander. Honestly, you know what? She's not pretty. She'll get the job done though. Let's say for Maniac. We need 2 cards. We need 2 good cards. How do we do this? Dark Energy is 1. I don't think I go Vessel here. I think I just go straight Dark. And then I need a second card. We go, what, Nest Ball for Reshiram, or do I just take Reshiram? I think I just take Reshiram, because if I could ever top deck Nest Ball, that would help me set up my bench a little bit more. So I think I like this. This just guarantees me what I need right now, and that's just simply good enough. So we're going to trade away Darmanitan as much as it hurts, just because I need everything else in my hand. A whole lot more. We'll get this down. Smack the Dark Energy here. Counter Catcher up Gardevoir. Night Stretcher. Bring back Charmander. And then if I top deck Arven Rare Candy, I'm still in a really good spot. So now we Night Stretcher, copy Virtuous Flame, swing for 340, take 2 prize cards. Boom! Call it a comeback, baby. Let's do it. Let's do it. And yeah, I mean, okay, they have Scream Tails. They get Snipe. Oh my god, Fez was prized. Okay, you know what? That actually works more in our favor. If they snipe Charmander here, I still have access to Virtuous Flame. And if they snipe Reshiram, I have Fez, and I can hopefully pull off a Charizard route. Especially when I get Ends Castle, so now I can retreat Zoroark. I think this actually is the best setup we could be in right here. I think I actually kind of love the spot I'm sitting in. They do trade. Remember, they failed the Buddy-Buddy Poffin before. So I'm curious to see if they maybe don't play a 4-2-3 line, 4-2-2 line of Ralts. Maybe they play less Ralts to make room for Zoroark, which would make sense, and they go in with the Reshiram. They're going to try to just spam some damage down with Roaring Stream. If I had to take a guess now on Zoroark, and it has to be, no, just on a Pokemon. No, they take out Charmander. Alright, I mean, hey, so be it. I got Ends Castle. I'm about to just retreat, take out your active Pokemon, your only attacking Pokemon, and make you figure it out from here. And I have access to Fez. I have access to Nest Ball, which could get me down another Charmander. I'm gonna get down this Charmander, whether it kills me. And then I can flip the script since I don't want to get rid of any of these cards in my hand with trade. And honestly, this is huge. This is actually super, super big. I don't have any Dark Energy in the discard pile. So I am going to trade away the Dark Energy since I do still have access to Ends PP up. And I like Rescue Board. I like Rod. I don't want to get stuck with Fez in the active at any point. There's the Ends PP up. And Buddy-Buddy Poffin, but I think this is going to be my trade card for next turn. I think here all I want to do is Night Joker for KO with Virtuous Flame. And just swing for another 340. Put me on an odd prize, but now my opponent has no Scream Tails. They got no Gardevoir. The best they could do is Item Lock or Monkey Dory me. Excuse me. Neither of which I'm worried about since I do also have Iono. And I could try to spend a little more time maybe digging for Rare Candy, but then I can't play Rare Candy. And I was going to say I could Rod, go for Charmeleon back, but actually, 1, I get Iono, so I can't. 2, I still can't play Rod because I would be under Itchy Paw and Lock. I think my opponent is just digging for an energy here. They do get Fez. Now that's an easy boss KO. And we have Arven too, so I could get my cape down. All right. Okay, you know what? We're figuring out. They get rid of my Ends Castle, but they give me Artisan. And hey, that's Darumaka, and I'm not complaining about that at all. I got a pretty ideal bench as far as I'm concerned. I got 3 Pokemon that hopefully by the end of the game I will be attacking with. They trade away Mew, which is a very powerful attacker considering I do have Charizard down, but I also guess it's a very easy Pokemon for me to KO, and they bring down another Ralt. So they just failed a Buddy-Buddy Poffin for what? That's odd. Why they didn't take that Buddy-Buddy Poffin. I don't know. Now they go Itchy Paw and they don't choose to Mind Bend me and confuse my active. Honestly, I think the Mind Bend would have been more annoying since I could have potentially attacked and whiffed, and I just get a Iono here. I don't know which would be better for me to play. I guess Iono. Arven doesn't really do much for me since I can't play items. I am putting my opponent back at 4 cards, and they have 4 right now. But more importantly, I'm giving myself a new other 3 cards, and I don't have access to flip the script. I will trade after this, and yeah, this is a fine hand to trade away. I'll trade away the Buddy-Buddy Poffin. At this point, it's really not going to do me much justice. I'll keep the Zorua to trade, and I get Fire Energy Darmanitan. Awesome. I don't even think I need to attach this energy. I think here we just Night Joker, swing for 170 again, drop down to 2 prize cards. And now, to close out the game at this point, all we need to do is get out some sort of Rare Candy Charizard play, or Boss KO Fez, which is possible depending on how many energy my opponent has in the discard pile. Even dealing with Zoroark in the active might not be a bad shout. My opponent is going to lead Monkey Dory, now go for the Mind Bend, try to just stick me in the active, potentially whiff the attack. That's huge. If I could get out Ends Castle and Zoroark, though, I will, and a Dark Energy, I will be in business. We do have Ends PP up. Since I'm not under Item Lock now, I can put this energy onto Zorua, assuming I could get another Zoroark down. And if I draw into another Dark Energy, well, if nothing else, I have KO on Monkey Dory, leaving me with 1 prize card remaining, which is sweet. And honestly, like, it's so many decks are just, they're dealing with Charizard so much, to the point where Zoroark just vibes. And it's insane how much of a threat Charizard is to so many people. And it makes sense. I mean, Charizard is such a powerful Pokemon. I mean, when I made this deck, I made it with the intention of giving Zoroark a better late-game attacker. But honestly, all it's turned out to be is just, well, like, more of a distraction for my opponent, which lets my Zoroarks chill more. And now they get the Rare Candy Gardevoir play out, which is another great way for us to end the game. Since we're playing just a dark deck, we're swinging for weakness KO. So now if I set up Zoroark or Charizard and get boss's orders, I mean, good night. We're swinging for weakness on Guardy, which just feels so much better than, you know, dealing with Fez. And they're going to put energy... Oh, no, that makes sense. They're going to put energy on Gardevoir. Not because they're looking for the KO with it, because they're looking to go for the double Mind Bend play, or the double Adrenabrain play, which could put 6 damage counters where, though? Where would that be more beneficial? No, I lied. They are going with Gardevoir. If they swing 250, they would take the KO. And, yeah, okay, I mean, I guess that makes sense. They KO my active, but then they give me access to Fez. Is that better for my opponent, or did they just now lose the game because they're giving me a 2-prize Pokemon that I could easily just bully in the active spot? They can move 6 damage counters off of Gardevoir to make sense. Then I will have, I believe, 180 HP remaining. And then there's Miracle Force for 190. I think here, what do I just promote? Charmander? Because Ends PP up does have to go onto a bench to Zorua. And then if I get Charizard or Zoroark set up, which I don't have much to do. This top deck flip to script has to, like, do wonders. I mean, we'll have something cooking. Backdraft isn't really going to do me much either if I go in with Darmanitan, since they don't have much energy in the discard pile right now. It is a good backup attacker, not going to do me too much here. Flame Body Cannon not going to clean up the biggest KO on Guardy. They can get another Scream Tails down with a whole bunch of energy. Now they've got no energy in the discard pile, so Backdraft will do nothing. They're playing around that, but they're also, yeah, no, it's fine actually. It doesn't really do anything harmful to my opponent. They'll just retreat when they're chilling. So yeah, I think we just promote Charmander here. I'm going to try to thin the deck with Artisan before flip the script. Top deck, I need you to do wonders. Iono, honestly, you know what? I'll take it. I've seen worse. Let's Artisan here. Bring me out another Darumaka just because I need to get one card out of my deck. I will play Ends PP up. I will smack the Dark Energy down on Zorua. And then I'm going to flip the script. Because if I get Arven, I think that would be better than Iono, because I'm just going to Iono for 2. And I get Ultra Ball. That's actually not bad. It's actually not bad at all. Because then I could get Zoroark. Okay. You know what? This could work. This could work. Let's Ultra Ball. Let's take out Zoroark. How many, oh, excuse me, this guy. How many energy do I have in the deck? I've got 2 Dark, 1 Fire. Okay. So, I do need Rod if I want to pull off a Charizard play, since most of my Fire energy, I believe I have 3 in the discard pile, 2 in the discard pile, 1 in hand, 1 in deck. That makes sense. Let's get Zoroark down here. I am going to trade away Zorua, just because it's whatever at this point. And we'll draw into Arven Buddy-Buddy Poffin. That's game. No, it's not. What am I doing? We Arven. And I go for what? I mean, we got tools. I got Rescue Board Vessel game. Or PP up, right? Do we have another Dark Energy in the discard pile? Please. Yeah, I do. Alright, huge. Good night, Streaks. This deck is nuts. You deal with Charizard multiple turns in a row, and you deal with the End Zoroark. We board onto the active. We go retreat into Zoroark, and we Virtuous Flame. 4 KO. Yo, if this deck could start bodying Gardevoir like this, I mean, what do you like, what are we doing? Why is this deck so good? Oh my lord. And I get Arven Charizard out of the prize cards. That's gonna wrap it up. We are 3-0 for the day with what might be potentially a new deck that someone needs to see and help me turn into a meta deck, because this is ridiculous. This is like way too versatile, way too powerful. I am in love with this combo of dark Pokemon. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. This was one of the most fun decks I've cooked up in a long time. So yeah, with that being said, Battle VIP Pass podcast on Spotify, as well as TCG Player. Go hit up those links in the description down below. Seriously, take care. I hope everyone is doing amazing. I for real appreciate all of y'all, especially sticking through it this long after my whole fumble of words in match number 1, a good match number 2, and a phenomenal match number 3. I appreciate all of you. I hope you guys are doing amazing. With that being said, stay epic. Peace.